It was not actually Maxwell made it. It was he looks after me on these days, and it was probably 9.5 out of 10 today. Bit down.
The happenings of yesterday obviously pretty disruptive, probably more so for the opposition, but I imagine for yourselves personally. Can you talk us through that all unfolded yesterday?
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, we're all a little bit used to it now, but obviously there's heap going on. We were off yesterday. The players were off and the staff were off, so we're all on the phone a bit, getting updates on possible scenarios in the going forward. In the end, there was a couple of changes that we thought might happen, and then we ended up back with Port coming here. So yeah, we just anytime, anywhere for us, and just got a job to do. So yeah, the game will go ahead obviously at Marvel, and we're ready to go. So we'll pick a team to go and win that game hopefully, and we'll go and do our best.
Robert, could you just give us an update on a few of the players for the weekend? Brody, Josh Thomas, and Hoskin Elliott, how they're sort of travelling?
Yeah, we've sort of got a bit to clean up from the training and the game yet. So we had a few guys that didn't. Well, Thomas has got concussion, so he's 12-day protocol. So we know where he's at. So we're just looking at a few of the other guys, how they pull up from training and how they're feeling. So yeah, we've got that to finalise yet. We just literally just come off the track then. So we'll finalise that this afternoon. But yeah, we've sort of got a few still swinging at the moment, depending on how they pull up.
Okay, and Jeremy, is he still tracking for round 20?
He is. He's training really well. He's obviously really keen to get out there, as you'd imagine, and he feels like he's at 100%, which is great news for everyone. And because he's a great leader of ours, he's a great player, obviously, and he's a bit of a barometer from a team spirit point of view. So he's ready to go, which is great news for us and the club. So yeah, he's on track for next week.
Just on the weekend, Robert, you seem to have another performance where you had, for your quarter, half, 2 quarters where you scored quite well and then struggled in some of the other quarters. It's happened a fair bit this year. Just wondering how you've been going about that, and if you've changed much to what Bucks was doing, or if it's sort of trying to go to the same problems with a different solution.
Yeah, no, like so much. I mean, we've tweaked a few things, and in the end, I think we've moved the ball pretty well. And we've sort of said this before: the back 2/3 of the ground. I thought last week we just didn't. Our entries were not good enough in the first half. We had some really good looks, and we just didn't quite capitalise on that. So we want to work on that going forward. We want to get better results for our entries. The positive was we had nearly 30 entries in the first half. So that's good enough to get yourself a decent lead in a game of footy, and it just didn't materialise in what should have. And in the end, the last 40 minutes of the game, we got overrun with contest and pressure. But we're disappointed with just our front third entries in the first half, and something we want to address going forward, because we want to get more. We want to get more reward for the effort up the field. I thought our ability to move the footy from the back 2/3 was really good, and we just want to capitalise on those opportunities going forward.
Just in terms of those injuries and a couple going out, is there a chance that we could see a debutant or even perhaps two?
It could well be, yeah, and yeah, we've actually we've just finished training, so there was a bit of commotion on the track. So we have got 2 debutants this week, in Jack Ginnivan, who is a boy from Bendigo, who's just great country kid, really honest, boys, really popular amongst the boys. Has worked really hard on his game. He's a natural small forward, but he's worked really hard on this opportunity, and he's earned it through his work rate in the VFL for the last 3 weeks. So he gets his chance in our front half this weekend. And a great story is also Anton Tohill, who will play his first game for us after a long journey from Ireland, and he's really worked hard at his game. He was really really emotional and on the track to get this opportunity. And he's from Derry in Ireland, and he's obviously come so far, as is Mark Keane, who's also played a few games for us already. And they've got such great respect around the playing group, and it was just a great moment to see his reaction to that, and the players' heartfelt feeling for him, because they know how hard he's worked for this. They know how much he sacrificed, as Mark has, to be here with us, and it's been not enough for him just to come here. He's worked so hard at his game. He's a very, very smart individual himself, and he's a medical student in waiting when he gets back to Ireland. But in the end, he's making the most of this opportunity right here, and I think the respect he's earned from us internally it's just been enormous, and his opportunity has been off the back of all his work and his ability to get that done. So we're wrapped for him.
I'm sorry, just to clarify, when you said commotion on the track, did you mean in terms of the debutant announcement?
Yeah, sorry, yeah. No, we did announce that on the track, so they're obviously the players were pretty happy with that.
Okay. No drama on the injury front?
No, we're all good.
And just what you mentioned with Anton then, obviously being so far from home, can you talk us through some of the travails or some of the things he's had to come through to, it sounds like that's clearly what the guys are sort of celebrating as well.
Yeah, and I think it's just such a in the end he decided his decision to come to try and make this opportunity work. And I think to see where he was initially when he came to where he is now, and just the more the person himself, he's from a great family grounding in Derry, where he grew up more in the country. So, and I was lucky enough actually to play against his father in the Australian rules. He was captain of the Irish team in the Australian rules in '98. We're going back a while there, and it's just a great upstanding family, and just the work that he's put in to improve his game to get in this position to play AFL footy it's not gifted to him. It's well earned, and it's greatly respected by all. So he will grab this opportunity and make the most of it. I know that, and what will be, and he's just going to give it his best shot, which he has since he's come here.
And what should Pies fans keep an eye out for with the two of them? Just a couple of things, or one thing on each. As far as style they play.
Yeah, there's excitement around both in very, very different ways. And Jack, as I said before, Jack's more of a small forward, but he with work rate to get up the ground. But his ability to have that knack of finding shots at goal, he's got a natural ability to kick goals. So we want to hopefully see that going forward. And he just puts himself in the right place at the right time. So that's what we can expect there. And Anton Tohill, 200 centimetres. Excuse me, I just had a curry. Absolute supreme athlete who's got aerobic and anaerobic ability to run, and his ability to jump and work there is really, really high. So he's an athlete at 200 centimetres who's worked so hard on his aerial craft. He can play back and forward, and he's really versatile there. And he can play in the ruck. He's played in the ruck before as well. So he's an exciting prospect for us.
Do you expect to play him in the forward line then?
No, well he's been playing back at VFL level, so we'll find him in the back half for us, and he's been really, really strong in those roles, and he's earned his position down back.
And you mentioned you played against his dad. What was he like to play against? Was he one of the angry Irish blokes?
Yeah, no, he wasn't. They're not, in the end, they're fast. You know what? It's a long time ago. We're talking 30 years ago. So I just know he had blonde hair and he was fast, and it was at Croke Park. We're on the end of a trip ourselves, and we weren't at our very best, but he was running away from us pretty easily. So I know he had speed, and they were a very, very committed bunch. So I knew that, but I think was lucky enough to have a beer with him, and he's very upstanding, as we know, with the family. And it's just one of those moments, I suppose, you get where the world is small, and there's connection there.